Well, I don't run.
Hello. This is Faye Horton, and I sell Medicare plans. This is the program where all Medicare agents come, where insurance professionals who want to be those Medicare agents come to hear from the best. And today, this episode is by far something that you're going to treasure. And I just know for a fact that you're going to listen to this episode over and over and over again, because I have with me today the one and only Christian Brindle. Christian is one of those six-figure insurance agents. And don't you all want to be six-figure insurance agents? Yes, you do. I know you do. Deep down within your heart, that's why you want to get 100 apps this year and 100 apps next year and 100 apps the next year, and you want to see those six figures just come in. Hello, Christian.
Hi, Faye. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I am doing just wonderful. I am so excited. I hope that it shows how excited I am to have you. This is such a gracious privilege to have you here, because you are the one who has coined the phrase and the brand of six figures. Tell us about your brand.
Yeah. So, I'll kind of start from the beginning as far as how I kind of came into the public light a little bit. So in 2018, I started in the Medicare business in 2014. But by 2018, of course, I was making six figures and well above that. But I'd been making that for a little while at that point already. And we started doing a podcast for Medicare beneficiaries called the Everything Medicare Podcast. And I didn't really know what it was, and at that point there was only one person that I knew of that was doing a Medicare podcast on a really big scale like that. There were other Medicare podcasts, a couple, but this might be a little controversial, Faye, but they were a joke. They were a joke.
I understand. I fully understand.
Because, and it wasn't that they put out bad content. Some of them did. Some of them were just, big infomercials, not telling any educational information. But when they did put them out, they were like once every 2 months, 2 or 3, 4 times a year. And I was like, I want to do a show that is done consistently, that's done weekly. And so we started doing it. It started out as once a week turned into twice a week turned into 3 times a week. And it really grew legs, and today it's become probably the most popular Medicare podcast on the internet, on all the platforms taken into consideration together. We have a weekly audience of about 600 people. Most of them are Medicare beneficiaries, but agents started to learn who I was through that, because it was so unique. Nobody was doing what we were doing.
Right.
And we had some really big name guests that kind of put us on the map a little bit in the agent community. People like Galen Hendricks of Senior Security Benefits, people like Tony Merwin of Precision Senior Marketing, Justin Brock, David Duford, Cody Askins. I mean, you name it, we probably interviewed them on the podcast before.
Okay.
And so basically, we were putting out all this content for beneficiaries, and it was, in my opinion, humongously impactful, because not only was it educating people, but it was, I found, a tremendous lead source for us, and I never knew that it could become that.
How did that happen? How did it become a lead source?
Well, it's no different than running an advertisement. You run an advertisement on TV, people see your face, people see your phone number, they pick up the phone and they call. And that's exactly the way the podcast is. It's just free advertising.
Okay.
And as the audience got bigger, we started getting calls from all around the country. And so we expanded into 10 states. So right now I'm licensed in 10 states, where I was picking up more, but we get business from all around the country: Florida, Texas, Oregon, Colorado, you name it, South Carolina, California. And people will people are hungry for Medicare information. We all know this, that's in the Medicare space. And with our show, we're close to about 200 episodes. And so we typically will find that someone on Medicare will look up the podcast. They'll find it through browsing on Google or something like that. And they'll binge our show. People listen to more episodes of our show than any other Medicare podcast.
Okay.
And it's almost like, I'm giving thousands of presentations all at once, But anyway, that's kind of where it started. And then fast forward till about December of 2019, our organization has worked with agents for a while. For those of you who know me or maybe do not know me, I came into the business because my dad was in the business before me. I'm one of these second generation agents, like a Justin Brock, like a Cody Askins. I got into the business because my dad was in it.
We always say you guys were lucky. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But I have to say, and I know this of you as well, even though your dad was in the business, that did not mean that you got to those six figures just by saying my dad is in the business. You had to work for it just like everybody else. So I want to make that clear to our audience that, just because you might have come from a family business, there's still work to be done. And Christian is one of those people, and so is Justin and the other guys who have come from a family of insurance professionals. They've still worked, and they know what it means to work to get to where you want to be. Is that right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. One thing that, my dad would tell anybody that brought it up to him, out of his own mouth, that, my dad was a great source of mentorship for me early on, but he didn't make the calls. He didn't dial for me. He didn't sell for me. He didn't buy leads for me or anything like that. That was all something that I did on my own 2 feet. And most of what we do to get business today, I learned completely on my own. I don't use really any of my dad's strategies anymore. And it's just something that, we evolved out of a little bit because we did a lot of cold calling, a lot of old school tactics and things like that, which were helpful, beneficial, but we just found a smarter way to do it, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. But to answer your question directly about the six-figure Medicare agent brand, we wanted to put something out there that was beneficial to agents. We didn't want to just have content that was beneficial to people on Medicare. We wanted to kind of hit both sides of the audience. And so we started a YouTube channel called Six Figure Medicare Agent. It blew up in popularity because I was already pretty well known in the community. And I think within a month, it had 100 subscribers. And so we started a group, a private Facebook group called Six Figure Medicare Agents surrounding the YouTube channel, Mm-hmm. And it's got last time I looked, it had 495 members. There's people that join it every single day, and it's been around for about 3 months now. And so it's kind of exploded in popularity. There's people from all walks of life all over the country. There are people from new agents in there to agents that run multi-tens of $1-million call centers in there. There is the most successful people we have in the entire industry, and then there's people just getting started. So it's an incredible mixture of people from all walks of life, but we put free trainings out there. And that's kind of where the six-figure Medicare agent thing came from because, I started in the business really young. I made six figures in the Medicare business for the first time when I was 25.
Great.
And so that's kind of where it all came from. Like I told you before we got on here, Faye, the ultimate goal is to scale the business, scale my agency to where we can make the claim of $1 million Medicare agent and we can change the name.
I know. And for the audience, as Christian and I were talking about that, I said, when you think about it, there are a lot of increments that you can hit and still be in six figures. When you first think about six figures, your first step is 100,000, but there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900,000. So there are a lot of increments in that six-figure agent concept that you can hit, and it's out here for any agent who really wants to do this business and can get into it and can believe in the concept of helping others. Part of Christian's success is because each thing that he started was to help someone else. And that's one of the reasons he agreed to come to talk on my podcast, because he's helping me. And I want to do the same thing. I am here. I Sell Medicare Plans is a brand. We have the podcast. We have the YouTube channel. We will be starting to do some of the same things, but I'm not looking to recreate the wheel. So along with the other things that Christian has available for Medicare professionals, he also has a training university available. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. And thanks for mentioning that, Faye. So we started about 3 weeks ago. We launched our first ever all-in-one training platform. Of course, it's attached to the group. It's attached to the YouTube channel. And it's called Six Figure Medicare University. It has, at this point, it has about 120 videos in there. 99% of them are created and made by myself. And we originally created the university to act as an online training platform for our agents, our contracted agents, because as the brand builds, of course, we're working with more and more agents all the time. And it's just been a little challenging and a little overwhelming to do, one-on-one trainings with every single one of them.
If you want to scale, you have to find ways that you can reach a lot of people.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yes. I mean, I one thing I can tell you, Faye, is, once you kind of get to the next level, once you get, start leveling up in this business and in this game, one thing you'll find out is the only thing that you can't buy more of is time.
Right.
The only thing that your most valuable commodity, your most valuable asset ends up being time. And agents can take a lot of time when they first come into the business. Not saying that that's a bad thing. We all need to learn. I was that way. I'm sure you were that way at one point. I mean, we all have that stage. But we wanted to make sure we were providing the trainings for the agents, because there's plenty of sleazy agencies and organizations out there that don't do, any kind of training. And we didn't want to be like that. So we put this training platform together to where, our agents can get it free, our contacted agents. And they have to have a certain amount of contracts with us. They can't just pick up some, backwater company with us and be like, okay, I'm contracted. But that was the original purpose of the university, was to have a training platform for our agents. When I started making it known that we were working on it in the group, we started getting a lot of requests privately. I get messages every single day from different agents from all walks of life asking me different questions. And so one question I started seeing frequently is, this training course you're putting out, I really like my upline. I'm sure you'd be great. But I don't want to switch my contracts over to you because I have a great relationship with my upline. I have a good thing going. I don't want to ruin that. And so we put out an offer. We kind of, wanted to meet people in the middle. So we put it out there so that way that agents that aren't contracted with us will still have the option of purchasing the course if they want to. It's lifetime access. It's a one-time, basically registration fee. And one-time registration fee, you have lifetime access to it, and we're adding new videos to it all the time. So what you see at the moment is not necessarily what it will be in a year. It might have double the videos in a year. And so it's an ever-growing, ever-changing platform, but we wanted to put every single thing in there and hold nothing back. So we put training in there for calling, cold calling, scripts, leads, Facebook advertising, online marketing, content marketing, and we even pulled the cover back a little bit on my podcast and my process and how we make it. So, I've had plenty of people tell me that we sell it for far too cheap than it's worth.
Well, there are training programs like yours out there that are 3 times the cost of what you're asking. I can't tell you that from experience. I know that. But again, because you were doing this initially because of the scaling of your own business and the need to be able to have all of your agents have some consistent information. So I have all of your agents have anything that they need right at their fingertips. And if they reviewed, say, a lesson, or they did a course on cold calling, and then 6 months later, because they were so busy, they forgot how they started it, they could always go back and look at it again, because then, just go back and revisit it and you can do it again. So it was available, and that, of course, helps when you're scaling your business, because you can't be in all those places and do all those things. And then, of course, you are probably like me. You still sell too, don't you? Tell me your secret. You do, don't you?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean,
we all have that in our blood. We can't stop.
So one thing that I've made very clear to agents is I do not go looking for agents. All the agents we have come to me. I don't go looking for them. I don't slide in people's DMs. I don't do those kind of things. I mean, if someone hits me up and I haven't heard back from them, I might follow back up with them being like, hey, did you still want to talk about this? But I don't go looking for agents. My primary focus in the business is I'd rather pick up a new client than pick up a new agent, because that's where my bread is buttered. I love writing business. And I don't think that's ever going to change. I mean, our organization, the Brindle organization, between myself, my dad, our in-house agents, we have multiple thousands of clients under our umbrella. And we want to grow that. I mean, I think the ultimate goal is we want to have 10,000 clients in-house. And that's kind of where we're aiming for right now. And I would much rather pick up a new client than pick up a new agent. So I spend a lot of time marketing. We spend a tremendous amount of money marketing. I always tell agents that I think you should have at least 5 different lead sources, 5 different sources of business. 5. Okay, 5. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you my 5, my 5 most reliable. I think I have probably more like 10 to 15 at this point, but my most reliable sources of lead flow is, number 1, our strong brand and customer service means that we have humongous retention of our clientele. We have a 99% retention rate.
And that means from them you get a good referral.
Yes.
Rate, right?
So and so we get monthly referrals from our existing clients and customers in multiple different states. And so that's probably the number 1, because there's no better lead than a referral. The second one is we have strong relationships built with a myriad of agents that don't do what we do, or maybe they're in another state and they're not licensed here in Utah, and they recommend people to us as they come available. That's a monthly lead flow. Our third one is we spend a lot of money on online advertising and marketing, such as Facebook leads and things like that. Our fourth one is, of course, the podcast. The podcast brings in a lot of business. We probably get 10 to 20 leads a month at this point from the podcast. And then probably the fifth one is we rotate different lead companies that we're using at the time. So I have a lot of connections with a lot of different lead companies. I'm friends with the people that own and operate the companies, and I'll buy some kind of, third-party lead to kind of fill in the gaps where those things don't fit. So I'm always trying to, I found that, it's really important to do a lot of different things and have a lot of different lead sources. And that's how you have really good production.
That all comes around to the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I know you've heard that, right? And it doesn't make sense to do that in our business. I have such a satisfaction when I'm able to close a client. And it really has been very, very interesting doing the Zoom meetings with clients now that I'm writing, and then the companies that I'm writing the Medicare programs with are all digital as well. So I can do my presentation on Zoom. It's recorded, if it needs be. I've already gotten my scope of appointment digitally. So we go to our presentation. It's just like I'm sitting across the table from them. And then I complete the application, email it to them. I get an email back that says the application is complete. Then I'm all set. I mean, and I get really a lot of satisfaction out of that. Probably as much satisfaction as I would if someone were to call and say to me, listen, I have gotten Christian's program and I'm in the university and I'm doing this particular course right now. I'm doing the course on, let's stay with the example of cold calling. I'm doing the course on cold calling, but now I can't cold call, and I just need to give me some ideas of where I can start. And that's actually what I do, what I like to do, and what I enjoy doing most. And so it means that I'm working more one-on-one with that agent, either a new agent or an agent who has been in the business for a while and just feels like they've exhausted everything. Or there are agents that work for certain IMOs and FMOs, and they will say, I don't ever get anything out of them. So they just need some help on what direction, where to go, where to look for these prospects. So that's kind of what I do. And that's why I said, Christian, I wasn't interested in recreating the wheel, but I am interested in the people who are in our group. I sell Medicare plans, to be able to have a source where they can go and get that training that they need, but then when they need that one-on-one to tell me exactly who should I be contacting in zip code 33881. That's me. Then that's where I come in. And I understand that you have put together a special offer for my group. Thank you so much.
Indeed.
Tell us about the special offer.
Yes, absolutely. So, Faye and I wanted to put together something nice for everybody that's listening to the podcast. And here's this episode. So essentially, to anybody that's listening to this episode, anybody in Faye's group, we are basically doing a promotion, and it only lasts for this weekend. Typically, the six-figure Medicare University is $495 flat. Now, if someone's in my group, they get $100 off. It brings it down to $395. But this deal is even better than that. This deal will bring it down 50% off. So you get 50% off the $495 course of six-figure Medicare University just for listening on this podcast. And Faye, did you want me to mention the coupon code, or did you want to post it in your group?
Yes, you can give the coupon code. It's Faye, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. So
okay.
It's Faye, all capital letters, Faye, I believe. And if you use that coupon code, it will last this weekend. It will not work starting Monday morning. You will have lifetime access to my university, Six Figure Medicare University, just because we're partnering with Faye.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to ask you one special thing, and I'm sorry.
Sure.
The podcast doesn't air until 8 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So is it at all possible that we could extend it to Monday midnight?
Certainly. All right. I take that back, everybody. It will go until Tuesday morning.
Okay, great. Okay, Tuesday morning. That will work fine. I want to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity. The podcast will be posted, but typically my weekly podcast is on Mondays at 8, so there are people who don't listen until Monday. So just in case, and so that everybody gets the opportunity. And I do want you to know, if you go to the website, I Sell Medicare Plans, you will find that there is a special deal for the 90-minute intensive. The 90-minute intensive is where you can zero in, you and I get to zero in on what it is specifically, what actions you need to take, and you leave with 3 actionable items that you can do, and that's on special. It's normally $147. It's on special for $99. So you can go to the website, I Sell Medicare Plans, and look for that. We'll spend a very intense 90 minutes of work, and you will come out with some action steps that are things that you can certainly do and see an improvement in your business. Now, you have taken all of this information from six-figure folks. So how could you go wrong? You're listening and you're looking at two people who are six-figure people. And I'm sure Christian, because whether you know it or not, Christian, I retired from this business 3 times. so Christian has been working steadily. And he is probably at one of those, higher 6 figures right now, but that's okay. The fact that he is, and you see living proof that it is possible for you, even you, to be a 6-figure agent. You have all the resources, everything that you need right here that's available for you. If anyone has any questions, you know exactly how to get in touch with us. There's the 6-figure agent group where you can join free and ask questions. And there's the I Sell Medicare Plans group that's free where you can join and ask any question. And let me tell you, I belong to Christian's group, and I've found that everyone jumps in and answers a question if they have the answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a culture we've tried to create around the group to where, we're all for one, and so if somebody has a question about something, you might have someone that's, a rookie agent that thinks they might know the answer to someone that's making $3 million a year and is a red veteran, and so, I just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what you just said there, Faye, if you don't mind. As far as it being possible, it is so much more than possible, my friends. We are in the best age and the best day and time, in my opinion, to build an insurance agency and to build a practice and a clientele because of all the technology we have available to us. I mean, look what we're doing right now with me and Faye, bringing this conversation to you to help kind of benefit you and your business. We could not have done this 10 to 15 years ago. This would not have been possible.
Exactly.
And the people that are aging in to Medicare, the baby boomers, they're more tech savvy than you can ever imagine. They're much more tech savvy than the generations before them. And there's no better time, in my opinion, to get going and to build your business in the Medicare business. I know people that have, 20,000 clients, 25,000 clients. I know people that have companies that have 50,000 clients making millions upon millions and tens of millions of dollars a year. I know people that, have made a comfortable $300,000-$400,000 a year for 20 to 30 years consecutively, with just basically building up a strong business and maintaining it and just basically sitting back and chilling on autopilot. And you can do that. Right. There's no business quite like the Medicare business. And I can speak for that. Before I got into this business, I was working at an assisted living facility as a server. I wasn't qualified. I wasn't the smartest. I wasn't the most gifted, but I worked my butt off. And if you work your butt off, big things and special things can happen for you.
Yes, exactly. My career has always been in insurance, but I started in employee benefits. And then for a brief period, I was an employee benefits officer at a bank, and then went back to the insurance industry in Medicare. So I've worked Medicare for over 20 years, and I can tell you there is no other industry like our industry. And once you start to build those residual incomes, you learn how to work your customers. And as Christian indicated, that first lead source that he has is the customer service and the care that you give to your current customers. They will sustain you and have your business growing faster than you might be able to blink your eyes. So we're here just to let you know that it is real, it can happen, and it's out there for you. And this is the time Don't even think about the pandemic and anything about that. Think about how you can help people who are aging in, or people who are losing or deciding not to go back to work because of the pandemic, but they've been working and they're already 65 and they were just waiting for full Social Security. But now they're saying, you know, I don't need this. My home is paid for. I'll just take my Social Security benefits now. Those are people that you can help. There are a lot of opportunity. There's opportunity everywhere. And we're here to help you to find the opportunity that you're looking for. Christian, I certainly thank you so very, very much. And I know that today is a special day, or this weekend sometime is a special day, right? You have a 1-year-old that's going to have a birthday?
Yeah, so her birthday is not actually till the 14th of May.
Oh,
So it's still a
okay.
little ways out, but like I mentioned, you know, we were planning on having a big birthday party for her. We had it all planned out, and of course, pandemics ruined plans. And so we decided to have a smaller little family get together. My dad, who's been in the Medicare business forever, he's traveling a lot this time in his life. You know, so we never know when him and my mom are going to be in town. And so we thought that today was going to be the perfect day, tonight actually, about an hour and a half, to kind of have a birthday party for her. So we're excited about it. You know, we've just been getting ready.
That's great.
I'll give you a little sneak peek here.
Oh,
So
okay. Show us.
We got gift baskets. We got gift baskets, presents,
yeah.
the whole 9 yards, and everything's ready to go.
Good. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, and wish her a happy birthday from all of us.
Thank you,
and
Faye.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time out of your family life to share with us tonight. Don't forget, folks, $6 million agent. That's what you want to be. And you are going to look for a 6-figure Medicare agent. Thank you all, and have a great, great day.
Take care.
Thank you.